Wavesound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of The Blue Gum Camp by Léonie Kelsall, narrated by Withoos. Prologue. "Mum won't eat the apples if they've got blemishes," Dad said. Is her life anything more than a blemish now? Charity recoiled in shock at the betrayal of the impermissible thought. It was the end of an exceedingly long term spent trying to engage 30 less than enthusiastic middle primary students, and she was exhausted. She snatched up the paring knife and neatly trimmed the odd spot or two from the organic apples she'd bought at the market that morning, forced herself to focus on the honey-strawberry scent of the fruit, as though the purity of the fragrance would erase her treacherous thoughts. But the truth was that Saturdays were always spent this way, guiltily wishing for the end, even as her heart broke with each day it drew inexorably closer. "Don't be persnickety, Dad," her sister Faith tried to lighten their father's mood by throwing in one of Mum's favourite words. At least, it had been a favourite, back when Mum remembered it. "And don't you give me cheek," Dad grumbled, but his voice held a tone of fondness Charity rarely heard directed toward herself. Faith couldn't compete with effervescent Hope, the youngest of the 3 Farrugia siblings, but still she had a way with Dad that Charity had never managed to emulate. Charity held up the tea plate. "Do you want to take her apple in?" A hopeful inflection lifted her words. The plate, bordered with cheery yellow roses, was one of many pieces her mother had collected from op shops over the years. Dad once made the mistake of buying a full set from an antique store, but Mum had promptly donated them to the local salvos. She said that, while she appreciated his thought, there was no challenge in finding that which had already been found. Charity wondered whether Dad had appreciated that, though. He'd reacted only with gentle amusement, her parents' affection for one another always more evident than for any of their 3 children. Amid the celebration when Hope was born, more than a dozen years after Charity, Mum had shared that, while she loved her 3 daughters, they were her duty, whereas she chose to be with Dad. For 20 years Charity had nursed the words as a secret hurt, occasionally taking them out of hiding and re-examining them to dissect why she was considered less lovable. But now, shamed by the way her obligations threatened her own ability to love, she understood the work it took to combat the relentless erosion of love by duty. No doubt Mum had felt the same when comparing what she saw as the thankless work of raising children to the unquestioning adoration of the man who had fallen desperately in love with her when they were teenagers.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?